The Council's fear they thought silence meant death. 3 exploration fleets gone without a trace. No distress calls, no wreckage, no final transmissions. Just empty space where sophisticated alien vessels should have been. But what the Galactic Trade Federation discovered wasn't death at all. It was something far more terrifying. Humans had learned to exist beyond the boundaries of reality itself, and they were guarding secrets that could either save or destroy everything. Ambassador. Kethvar stood before the crystalline walls of the Federation Council chamber, her translucent form flickering with nervous energy. As a member of the Velkari species, her body was composed of living crystal that changed color with emotion. Right now, deep purple hues of anxiety pulsed through her geometric frame. Council members, she began, her voice resonating like wind chimes in a storm. We face an unprecedented crisis. In the past 6 standard months, 3 separate exploration missions have vanished near the boundary of what we once called human space. Captain Zess Luna shifted in her specialized water tank, her tentacles creating small whirlpools of agitation. The Aquarian officer had served in the Federation Navy for 40 cycles, long enough to remember when humans first appeared in galactic society. Her bioluminescent patches dimmed as she spoke through her translator device. The missing vessels represent our finest technology, she reported. The research ship Quantum Dawn, the heavy cruiser Stellar Pride, and the diplomatic vessel Harmony's Voice. Each carried advanced shields, long-range communications, and emergency beacon systems, yet not one signal has been detected. Dr. Mertonk drifted closer to the central podium, his gaseous form contained within a sophisticated environmental suit. As the Federation's leading xenobiologist, he had studied every known species in the galaxy. The humans, however, remained an enigma that haunted his research. Council members, he wheezed through his atmosphere processor. We must consider the historical context. 80 standard years ago, humanity made first contact with our civilization. The encounter lasted exactly 17 days before they withdrew completely from galactic affairs. The council speaker, a tall insectoid being with compound eyes that reflected the chamber's lights, clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. Remind us, Dr. Mertonk, what occurred during those 17 days? Chaos, Dr. Mertonk replied simply. Humans demonstrated technology that defied our understanding of physics. They communicated through methods our best scientists couldn't comprehend. Most disturbing of all, they seemed to exist partially outside normal space-time. When our researchers attempted to study them, the humans simply left. Ambassador Kethvar's crystal form shifted to deep red, indicating determination mixed with fear. That was 80 years ago. We assumed they had retreated to their home system to develop in isolation. The missing exploration teams were sent to establish peaceful contact and invite humanity back into galactic civilization. And now they're gone, Captain Zess Luna added grimly. 3 ships, 200 crew members from 12 different species, vanished without a trace. The council speaker raised one clawed appendage for silence. What do our long-range sensors show about human space? Nothing, Dr. Mertonk answered. The region appears empty. No energy signatures, no ship movements, no signs of habitation. It's as if the humans never existed. Yet our ships disappear when they approach, observed the speaker. This suggests human presence, whether we can detect it or not. Captain Zess Luna's water tank bubbled with agitation. Council Speaker, I request permission to lead a reconnaissance mission. My ship, the Deep Current, is equipped with the most advanced stealth technology in the fleet. If anyone can discover what happened to our missing vessels, it's my crew. The chamber fell silent. Every species represented in the Federation had different concepts of courage, but they all recognized the captain's bravery in volunteering for what might be a suicide mission. Ambassador Kethvar stepped forward, her crystal form now glowing with pure white light, the color her species showed when making crucial decisions. I volunteer to accompany Captain Zess Luna's mission. As a diplomat, I may be able to communicate with the humans if we encounter them. And I will provide scientific analysis, added Dr. Mertonk. If the humans have developed new technologies, or evolved in unexpected ways, my expertise may prove valuable. The council speaker considered their proposal. The Federation had been built on principles of peaceful exploration and mutual cooperation. Losing contact with 3 ships demanded investigation, regardless of the risks. Very well, he decided. You are authorized to proceed, but with strict limitations. Approach the boundary of human space slowly. Monitor all frequencies for any form of communication. If you encounter any sign of danger, retreat immediately. The Federation cannot afford to lose another ship. 3 days later, the deep current approached the coordinates where human space was believed to begin. Captain Zess Luna floated in her command tank, while Ambassador Keth Var and Dr. Mertonk studied the sensor readings from nearby stations. Fascinating, Dr. Mertonk murmured, his gaseous form swirling with excitement. The boundary isn't marked by any physical barrier, yet our instruments detect a distinct change in local space-time properties. Ambassador Keth Var's crystalline structure flickered with patterns of curiosity and concern. It's as if reality itself becomes different. Beyond this point, Captain Zess Luna activated the ship's most sensitive scanning arrays. I'm detecting residual energy traces from our missing vessels. They definitely passed through this region, but there's something else. Her tentacles manipulated the controls with practiced efficiency, bringing up a detailed sensor display. In the center of the screen, a faint but unmistakable energy signature pulsed with regular intervals. It's a transmission, she announced. Old technology, but clearly artificial. Dr. Mertonk, does this match any known human communication protocols? The xenobiologist studied the patterns carefully. Yes, this appears to be human in origin. The mathematical foundations match their early radio technologies, but it's been modified somehow. Enhanced. Can you decode it? I believe so. Give me a moment. Dr. Mertonk's form darkened as he concentrated, processing the information through his distributed consciousness. I have it. The message is simple, but its implications are profound. He activated the ship's communication system, and a voice filled the bridge, recognizably human but somehow different, more resonant, as if spoken from a great distance or through layers of reality. To any vessel approaching this boundary, you are not welcome here. This is not a threat but a warning. Beyond this point, the laws of physics that govern your existence no longer apply. We have become something your science cannot comprehend. Guardians of forces your civilizations are not ready to understand. Turn back now. This is your only warning. Do not make us choose between your safety and our duty. The message ended, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Ambassador Keth Var was the first to speak, her voice barely above a whisper. They're not hiding, she realized. They're protecting us. Captain Zess Luna's bioluminescent patches flashed in patterns of confusion and determination. Protecting us from what? From themselves, Dr. Mertonk answered, or from whatever they've become. The captain faced a decision that would determine not only the fate of her crew, but potentially the future relationship between humanity and the galactic community. The 3 missing ships had ignored this warning, crossing into human space despite the clear message to stay away. What are your recommendations? She asked her companions. Ambassador Keth Var's crystal form cycled through several colors before settling on a deep blue of resolution. We came here to find answers. The warning tells us that humans are alive and aware of us, but not why our ships disappeared or what lies beyond the boundary. The scientific possibilities are extraordinary, added Dr. Mertonk. If humans have transcended normal physical laws, studying their achievement could advance every civilization in the galaxy by thousands of years. Captain Zess Luna made her choice. We proceed, but slowly and carefully. At the first sign of danger, we retreat. Our mission is reconnaissance, not confrontation. The deep current moved forward, crossing the invisible line that separated normal space from whatever humanity had created. Immediately, the ship's instruments began registering impossible readings. Energy patterns flowed in directions that shouldn't exist. Matter behaved according to rules that contradicted fundamental physics. Captain, called her navigation officer, a crystalline being similar to Ambassador Kethvar. Our position is undefined. The computer cannot calculate our exact location. That's impossible, Captain Zess Luna replied. But even as she spoke, she realized that impossibility might no longer be a meaningful concept in this place. Dr. Mirtonk's gaseous form was fluctuating wildly, responding to environmental conditions his species had never encountered. The very fabric of space-time is different here. Gravity flows in spirals. Electromagnetic radiation carries information in patterns that shouldn't be possible, and there are energy signatures from dimensions our mathematics cannot describe. Ambassador Kethvar approached the main viewing port, her crystal structure refracting the strange light that filled this region of space. Look, she said simply. Before them, space itself seemed to ripple like water. Stars appeared and disappeared in patterns that suggested vast intelligence at work. And in the distance, barely visible against the distorted backdrop of reality, shapes moved with purpose and power. Human ships, but transformed beyond recognition. We're being observed, Captain Zess Luna announced as her sensors detected focused attention from multiple sources. Whatever the humans have become, they know we're here. The communication system activated without any input from the crew. A new voice filled the bridge, human but changed, carrying harmonics that resonated with frequencies beyond normal hearing. You have crossed the boundary despite our warning. You seek answers to questions you are not prepared to understand. Your missing ships and crews are safe, but they cannot return to the reality you know. They have seen what we guard against, and that knowledge has changed them forever. Ambassador Kethvar stepped forward, her diplomatic training taking precedence over her fear. We are here seeking peaceful contact. The Galactic Trade Federation wishes to renew diplomatic relations with humanity. Humanity as you knew it no longer exists, the voice replied. We have become something greater and more terrible. We are the guardians now, watching over forces that could unmake creation itself. Your people are not ready for this responsibility. Then, help us become ready, she pleaded. Share your knowledge. Guide us as we have guided younger civilizations. A long pause followed, during which the crew of the Deep Current could feel vast intelligences considering their request. Finally, the voice spoke again. Very well. You will see what we have become and what we protect against. But understand this. Once you witness the truth, you can never return to ignorant safety. You will carry the burden of knowledge that could drive lesser minds to madness. The space around their ship began to change more dramatically. Reality folded in on itself, revealing layers of existence that the crew had never imagined. And in the center of it all, they saw the humans, no longer confined to single bodies or individual ships, but existing as a collective consciousness that spanned multiple dimensions while somehow remaining distinctly, recognizably human. Captain Zess Luna realized that they were about to discover not just what had happened to their missing ships, but why humanity had chosen isolation over integration with galactic civilization. The answer, she suspected, would change everything the Federation thought it knew about the universe. What humans became. The crew of the Deep Current found themselves in a realm where thought became reality and consciousness shaped the fundamental forces of existence. What they discovered wasn't just advanced technology, it was evolution itself, accelerated beyond recognition. Humans hadn't disappeared from the galaxy. They had transcended it, becoming something that protected all life from threats beyond imagination. And now, for the first time in 80 years, they were about to reveal why that sacrifice was necessary. Captain, Zess Luna felt her ship being gently guided through dimensions that her instruments couldn't properly measure. The sensation wasn't unpleasant, but it challenged every assumption she had about the nature of reality. Around her, space twisted into configurations that suggested vast intelligence at work, not artificial intelligence, but something profoundly organic and undeniably human. Captain, reported her science officer, a being composed of crystallized sound waves. Our engines are offline, but we're moving at velocities that should be impossible. Whatever is controlling our movement operates on principles beyond our current understanding of physics. Dr. Mirtonk's gaseous form had stabilized somewhat, though his environmental suit continued to make adjustments for atmospheric conditions that kept shifting around them. The energy patterns surrounding us are remarkably similar to neural activity, but magnified beyond anything I've ever recorded. It's as if we're moving through the thoughts of an enormous mind. Ambassador Kethvar approached the viewing port, her crystal structure now displaying colors that had no names in any known language, shades that existed only in this transformed region of space. "I believe we are," she said quietly. "Look ahead." Before them, a vessel approached that defied every convention of spacecraft design. It seemed to be constructed from crystallized starlight and woven shadows, materials that shouldn't exist yet, clearly did. The ship moved with organic fluidity, reshaping itself as it traveled through the twisted spacetime around them. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the human vessel Endurance," came a voice through their communication system. It was recognizably human, but carried harmonics that suggested the speaker existed across multiple dimensions simultaneously. "You have crossed into our space seeking answers. We will provide them, but you must understand that knowledge carries responsibility." The human ship came alongside the deep current, and Captain Zess Luna was amazed to see that their vessels were now traveling through what appeared to be a tunnel of pure energy, moving between layers of reality like a submarine diving through ocean depths. "Permission to come aboard?" Captain Chen asked, though the question seemed almost rhetorical in this place where normal rules didn't apply. "Granted," Captain Zess Luna replied, uncertain what protocol applied when meeting beings who had transcended physical limitations. The transfer occurred without any visible technology. One moment the bridge contained only the Federation crew. The next, a human figure materialized beside them. Captain Chen appeared to be a woman in her 40s, wearing what might have been a uniform if uniforms could be made from starlight and possibility. She existed simultaneously as a solid presence and something far more ethereal. "Thank you for receiving me," she said, her voice carrying warmth that seemed to resonate in dimensions beyond sound. "I know this must be overwhelming. Your species are still bound by single-dimensional existence, which makes our current state difficult to comprehend." Ambassador Kethvar stepped forward, her diplomatic training helping her maintain composure despite the unprecedented nature of the encounter. "Captain Chen, I'm Ambassador Kethvar of the Galactic Trade Federation. We came here seeking information about 3 missing exploration vessels and hoping to renew diplomatic contact with humanity." Captain Chen nodded, and her expression carried a sadness that seemed to echo across multiple realities. "Your missing crews are safe, Ambassador. They exist now as we do, protected from the knowledge they gained by crossing into our space. They cannot return to your reality because they have seen what lies beyond the boundaries of normal existence." "What do you mean?" Dr. Mirtonk asked, his gaseous form swirling with patterns of scientific curiosity mixed with growing apprehension. 80 years ago, when humanity first encountered galactic civilization, we discovered something that your scientists have not yet realized, Captain Chen explained. "The universe you inhabit is not the complete picture of reality. It is one layer among many, and some of those layers contain forces that could unmake everything you know and love." She gestured, and the space around them shifted to show a 3-dimensional map of local galactic space. But this wasn't the galaxy as the Federation knew it. This version showed tiers in reality, places where something vast and hungry pressed against the boundaries of normal existence. "We call them the Devourers," Captain Chen continued. "They exist in the spaces between dimensions, feeding on the life force and consciousness of entire civilizations. For millions of years, they have been trying to break through into our reality. Most species never even detect their presence." Captain Zess Luna's tentacles moved in patterns of growing alarm. "Why haven't we encountered these Devourers?" "Because humanity has been stopping them," Captain Chen replied simply. "When we first discovered their existence, we faced a choice. We could warn the galaxy and watch as panic destroyed civilization, from within, or we could take responsibility for protecting everyone without their knowledge. The implications began to settle over the Federation crew like a heavy weight. Ambassador Kethvar's crystal form flickered through several colors before settling on deep purple, the shade her species showed when confronting profound moral dilemmas. You isolated yourselves to become guardians, she realized. You sacrificed contact with galactic civilization to protect it. Not just contact, Captain Chen corrected. We sacrificed our individual existence as you understand it. Stopping the Devourers required us to evolve beyond physical limitations, to exist across multiple dimensions simultaneously. We became something that could match their power and turn them back. Dr. Mirtonk drifted closer, his scientific curiosity overcoming his fear. How many of you underwent this transformation? All of us, Captain Chen answered. Every human who was alive. When we made this choice, we exist now as a collective consciousness that spans multiple realities while maintaining our individual personalities and memories. It allows us to be everywhere the Devourers might break through, responding instantly to threats that could destroy entire star systems.